1, 2, 3. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Entrepreneur Life Podcast, your go-to podcast for all things entrepreneurship, accounting, and lifestyle. And today I'm here with Sam. I'm so excited you're here.
Yeah, me too.
Sam is the founder and CEO of Sam Inc. Services. She left her corporate career in 2015 to begin her journey as a full-time bookkeeper, and in 2016 became a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor, and in 2019 she started down the path of educator. Since that time, she has started her QuickBooks consulting firm and now owns and operates 2 six-figure businesses aimed at helping business owners succeed. Yes, Liv!
Thank you.
So glad to have you.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Yeah. So tell the people like kind of who you are, where you're from.
Okay. I'm Sam, and I am from California.
Girl, they probably can't hear you.
I'm Sam. And I'm from California. And so I divide my life between California and Montana now. And we have 2 fully remote firms. So we help people all over the country. And my staff is remote as well. So I have employees all over the country. And I've been in the financial industry for over 20 years, but doing this full time for the last 8.
Yeah, amazing. So you're like a true lifestyle firmer because you have 2 firms in different states that are both operating like completely remote. Was that the plan or that just happened?
It just happened. So COVID happened and that forced us fully remote. Before that, I was very much on site. I was even going still to pick up people's like mail and do deposits for them and all of that.
Yeah.
And then once COVID hit and I literally could not go, I wasn't allowed to go in. We just had to pivot and we decided to just stay with that after COVID and through COVID. And it just was great because then it opened up the door for so much freedom in my other parts of my life that I couldn't let it go.
Right. Amazing. And so what were you doing kind of in the corporate world, like before you were the entrepreneur that you are? What was your past life?
So I was operations manager for a telecom company, and that's where I first got exposed to helping the controller and being part of the whole process. And then from there, I went into banking and lending and finance, and I've done all the different jobs that you can do in those realms. And that's where I started meeting my clients because they needed my help to produce their financial reports that they had no idea how to get me or what they were. They were like, what's a profit and loss? Like, what is that? So
in comes the PPP loans.
Oh my God. Don't get me started. Yes, that too. But that came years later.
Yeah.
And then, so I started doing things on the side after work, on my lunch break, on the weekends, on my days off. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is so much more fulfilling than sitting at a computer just punching in numbers all day.
And I think that's even like as we're filming live from Scaling New Heights, an accounting conference we're both speaking at.
Yeah.
I think even as accounting professionals, people are like, oh, you just stay behind a desk all day. And it's like, I do. But the entrepreneur side of me is that I actually get to help people and I get to have relationships and engage and actually see their businesses grow with them.
Yes.
It's not corporate accounting where it's like, I'm just the accountant, but I don't have any other fulfilling part of my role.
Yeah. And we're not just entering data. They're leaning on us to tell them like, do I even have money to spend? Can I go out and buy this machinery? Do I need to buy machinery because I need a write-off? All of this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So what's like been your journey of entrepreneurship? I know you kind of started as like side hustle world.
Yep.
Side hustle world.
Side hustle world. So when I left the bank, I thought, okay, I'm just going to do this. I had a really bad day at work and I decided on the spot, 30 days notice is happening tomorrow. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I am not fulfilled. I'm not even making any money. It's just not for me.
Right.
So next day I turned in my 30-day notice and then 30 days later, I was gonna like struggle for a little while just to figure it out. And literally within 3 weeks, I was doubled my income that I was making at the bank. And all I did was I picked up the phone and every person that had asked me if I was available and I had to say, I'm sorry, I'm too busy. I can't do it all.
Yeah.
I just picked up the phone and started calling and they all were like, yes, we need you.
Wow.
And so that started that journey and I was just not prepared for the rapid growth and the rapid evolving into a real business. I really thought in my mind I was going to struggle through being like a side hustle bookkeeper for a long time. I was mentally prepared for years of struggle to build it up. And then it was like, oh, okay, this is different than I thought. And so I had to flip and I started down the path of just rapid growth and it was very challenging. It was very challenging.
What would you say to the entrepreneur who is kind of in your same situation of like, okay, I'm excited, like this rapid growth is amazing, but like I have absolutely no idea how to function in this environment. Is there anything that like you learned in that season?
Yes.
Or tips and tricks that you have?
Oh my gosh, yes.
For days.
It's become my passion to help other people avoid the path that I actually took, because it was so much for me. It was so hard, and not everybody is going to have the perseverance to push through.
Entrepreneurship is all perseverance.
It is 100%. And I also don't have a support system. I don't have a husband. I don't even have parents. I don't have anybody I could be like, oh, this isn't working out, I need to fall back on them.
Yeah. Nothing.
So I had to figure it out.
Yeah.
I was in a very small town, so that's different than being in a large community or a large, city, I think. And I knew nobody in the industry when I started, so I didn't even have that community or anything. So that's what I want to do now, is give people that when they're starting out.
Yeah.
Provide a place where they can be like, I don't know what's going on here, and then help them through that.
Yeah.
But one of the biggest things I did wrong was I didn't hire soon enough. I tried to hold on to everything for so long because I thought, oh, my customers aren't going to appreciate it. Oh, my customers are going to have a problem. Oh, they're used to just dealing with me. I thought people would think I was being lazy if I hired somebody. I mean, all these thoughts went through my head that are now to me asinine, but at the moment they were very real.
Right.
And so what happened when I tried to hold on to everything is that I just dropped balls. Right. And I couldn't juggle everything, and people became upset with me. They didn't appreciate how hard I was actually trying. All they saw was what they saw. It was their perception, was their reality.
Right.
And so when I finally did figure it out and I started hiring, I still had to train them. I still had to like double duty it. I still had to do my job and their job, almost check their work, make sure they were...
The checking of the work.
Yeah. Oh, it's exhausting.
Temporarily doubling your workload.
Yes, because you're like, okay, I have someone, now I have relief. But no, actually, you've just doubled your work for a while.
Yeah, temporarily.
All for a good cause at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yes, it's hard. So that would be my biggest tip. Don't wait till you have to hire. In that same vein, you have to price as if you already have somebody helping you.
Wow.
So that
is a nugget.
So that when you hire them, you can actually
afford them. Wow.
And then you don't have to have this, oh, I have somebody, now I have to raise my prices.
Oh my gosh, I walked through that.
Yes.
It's so cringe.
Yes.
It's so cringe.
You're paying their paycheck.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, you're paying their paycheck, not your customers like it should be. So I guess piggybacking.
Price adjust at the beginning, knowing that you're going to hire.
Yes.
That is so good.
Yeah.
I wish I had done that.
I do too. I really do.
I talked on the last episode about like seasons of profitability and not profitability, because it's like to go up to the next level, you have to take a profitability hit. Yeah. And when I hired my first employee, I couldn't take a paycheck.
Right.
I had to pay her, so I couldn't pay myself.
Yep.
And then it was like, okay, now capacity can increase.
Yes.
But there's that season of, okay, I didn't raise my prices, but now I have payroll. And then your clients are like, why are you raising prices? You're not even the one doing the work. And you're like, hey, listen.
That's why I'm raising my prices, because it's no longer just me.
I'm running a business here.
It's no longer just me. And I don't know that, even though our customers are businesses. Tip your thing up a little bit,
there you go.
Even though our customers are businesses, they forget we're a business.
Right.
And they don't appreciate that we're having the same struggles as we're actually helping them through a lot of the time.
Right.
So you kind of have to remind them, like, okay, I understand. I'm a small business. I'm doing what you're doing. We're doing this together. I call our customers our partners. They're not customers. They're not clients. They're partners.
That's good.
I need them to see me as a partner, and I need them to see us as their partner. So it's not this "you're working for me" attitude. It's we're in this together.
Right.
And which means sometimes I'm gonna be the one needing a little support from them, and sometimes they're gonna need me to support them.
So good.
Yeah. I had some bad clients, but I had some really great clients, and the bad clients are the ones that teach you what to value the really good ones. And so
the bad clients are the ones who create your engagement letter. You're like, I didn't think that needed to be a clause.
Yeah.
Now I know.
I would have
that needs
thought
to be a clause.
Common sense would have been the thing, not to tell you to do that or to not do that, but it's not.
Right.
And they are. Oh my God, that's so great. You need that to be like
the writers of your engagement letter are all the bad clients who put you through situations that you're like, I thought I would never be in this, because I knew, like, some of my Gosh, one of my worst clients was one of my good friends. Not good friends. She was a friend.
I don't think she's a good
But
friend.
no, she's not a good friend. My assistant would be like, I'm sorry, why are we keeping her as a client? Like, I'm like, she's my friend. It would be kind of weird to like fire her. But she's like, does she know the amount of stress she puts you through? And I was like, no, she doesn't.
Yeah.
She doesn't. They don't
My
know.
team always is the one that turns to me like, what why are we keeping them?
Yeah. That's like even a nugget in and of itself, right? Like,
Yeah.
you do not have to keep every client. Just because you
No.
took them on as a client,
Right.
you can fire them as a client. Like, and it doesn't have to be this like horrific,
No.
really intense, dramatic thing. It can be like, hey, I know we signed an engagement, which my engagement says either party can break the engagement.
Yeah.
So it's not just them. We can fire them too.
Right.
Which we have had to do a couple times, I think twice. But it's a case of like, hey, I thought, when we started working together, we would be a good fit. But now that we've gotten into your processes, I just don't feel like we're the best fit for you, that there's a better option for you.
Yes.
And we'll send them away and be like, usually we'll refer them to somebody else who is a better fit, Like for me, I never answer my phone. I'm usually in meetings.
Can't.
Right. I'm usually in meetings.
Yes.
Most of the day.
Yes.
And if I'm not in meetings, it's because I have something else I have to get done. So people who are like, hey, you didn't answer the phone, you're not a good fit for us.
Right.
If you need time on my calendar, here's my Calendly link. All my clients have it. They can use it whenever they want.
Right.
Book time on my calendar or shoot us a text message on our business phone. Especially with like new clients or people who are just trying to work with us. They'll be like, I called you 5 times. I'm like, you didn't send me an email, leave me a voicemail, or shoot me a text message. If all you're doing is calling and not saying anything,
Right.
I'm not going to call you back. That's
Right.
not how we operate.
And
so
that was
we're
another
not a good
huge
fit.
challenge for us is communication. Like there's only so many hours in a day. There's only so many things I can personally do. So as I was growing, it was just me. And again, I waited too long to hire an admin.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to answer phone calls, book appointments, do the admin side, pay the bills, and do my client work. I was doing 14, 15-hour days.
Yeah,
drowning, like not showering, not eating. Like I gained 30 pounds because I just was sitting at the computer all day, snacking,
Yeah.
and then binging because all you want is just some momentary relief. So it's like, give me the cake, That's what made me feel good at the minute, right? So
dopamine rush.
So yeah, and my customers, they started complaining. You never answer your phone. You never answer. I am in a meeting. I am literally working my booty off.
Right.
So
my phone's always on do not disturb.
If I was in a meeting with you, would you want me answering another customer's call?
Right.
No, you wouldn't. So anyway, so that was a big challenge for us. And again, that's part of the hiring and getting the admin help and offloading, delegating some of those tasks that are not necessarily at the moment revenue generating, but pipeline wise are, and you really need to handle.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so good. When you think of kind of that process besides hiring early, is there anything else kind of in that lane that you're like, also and this?
Also, and don't forget you're a person, that you matter, that your life is still happening around you, and that because my relationships suffered. I lost friends. Well, I don't think they were friends now because they wouldn't have left me if they really were a friend. Yeah. But my relationship suffered. I lost friends. I pushed a lot of people out of my life because I just couldn't juggle also having a personal life because I felt like I just have to focus on my business. Yeah. Otherwise, everything around me is going to crumble. I'm going to lose everything I'm working so hard for. I had all these thoughts. So I would say don't forget about you. And actually, if you have to schedule
self-care.
Yes. It's so important. And now it's it's a non-negotiable for me. And I have learned that it's not wrong for me to expect people to let me have this much time in my own life.
Yeah.
Whereas before when I started it, I was so worried that they were going to think, oh, well, and because I was in a small town, I heard it from people. Oh, well, you have time to go do this because they were on my Instagram. They could see I went to the beach that weekend.
Listen.
No more.
Absolutely not.
No more.
No.
But that affected me. I'm like, oh shoot. But now it's like, you're my customer, you're not on my personal page. Yeah. You can be on my business page, but my life is my life. Your life is your life. I'm not coming into your home telling you how to operate when I can see your numbers are dipping. Why aren't you at your computer doing more?
Wow. Can you imagine if we talk to clients the way that sometimes they talk to us? I had a girl be like, I know the work sent done, but you've been traveling. I'm like, you waited until the day before my trip to get me what I needed to do your job.
Right.
I asked for it 2 months ago.
Yep.
So I'm sorry that you sent it to me the day before my trip. I'm still going on my trip.
Deadlines.
And by the way, it's an anti-trafficking trip. It's not like I'm going on vacation. I'm saving lives. So definitely not worried about the fact that you procrastinated to get me your work.
Exactly. And deadlines is like, people think that we have nothing better to do than wait till the very last second of the deadline. And then like, oh, here's
if
2
all
years.
20 clients sent you all their stuff on the last day, I'm like,
yes.
Okay, anyway, I'm done complaining about my clients. I love my clients.
Yes, we do.
We love good clients.
Good clients, but that appreciate us as human beings. So one of my accounting company is PBS Accounting and Tax.
Yeah.
And the PBS acronym is People, Business, Service. Because we are all people first, including our clients, and we will be treated as such, non-negotiable. We both have businesses next, and we both are providing services to people finally. It doesn't go the opposite way for us.
Wow, that's so good.
So we have a very human first approach with all of our clients, and that again is a result of really bad clients not treating us like we're human beings.
Yeah.
My team and myself. And it was one thing when it was just me, I could kind of brush it off.
Right.
But when you get a team,
when you hurt my team,
when you're like,
you're done.
You're done. Mama Bear is like, we are not doing that. So I am so protective of them. And maybe that was what I needed. I needed to see it through that eye.
lens.
And so I stopped taking it.
Yeah.
Because I was taking it, but I was just like, well, I need the money. I need to work. This is just how it is. But now it's not negotiable for me.
I think that's so applicable. Like, it doesn't matter what industry you're in.
No.
Like, have boundaries. Have boundaries with clients. Like, they will respect you more.
Yes.
It's counterintuitive, but they will respect you more for having boundaries than they will for letting you walk all over them. If you let a client walk all over you, they will just continue to do so. You have to teach them, hey, that's not how we do business.
So that was
and
the
like
mistake.
Would Apple let you walk all over them?
No.
Absolutely not, right? Could you call Amazon and be like, I'm sorry, you didn't know? Like,
no.
You know, like, you're a business, you're a company. Even if you're a solopreneur, act as such, because you're training yourself for how you're going to respond even after you're scaled.
Yep.
Right?
And
you're teaching
training
your
customers.
staff and you're teaching your customers, this is how we do business. These are our core values.
Yes.
I love that your core values are people first.
Yes.
Like,
people first. And that is a direct result of a mistake I made when I was starting out. I wanted everybody to say yes. I wanted to be a people pleaser so that I would make enough money. I never had a problem making the money.
Yeah.
That was never the challenge. But in my head, it was always the thing that brought me back to accepting that behavior from them. And it's ironic.
like a toxic relationship.
It is. It's so ironic that now when I have set boundaries, I have amazing clients. I have people who say, I'm so sorry, I need to respect your time, but I have a quick question. Or they actually end their meetings on the dot because they're like, okay, I know you have other things.
Respect our time.
Yes. But before, when I was just like, okay, whatever you want. Doormat. Doormat. But I had to go through that in order to realize it, for it to be a reality to me, because you can hear it all day long.
Right.
But when it's a reality, then you actually take action on it.
Right.
So I think that's a huge thing for entrepreneurs that's why I say, remember yourself, remember your boundaries, or even to set boundaries.
Yes.
And then you have to actually follow them.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing sometimes. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this, and this, and then you don't do any of it. You don't follow through, or you still let them push you around, and then what good are the boundaries?
And block it on your calendar. Like, for me, my own, like, I don't even let, on my Calendly, I have it set up, nobody can book an appointment with me before 11 a.m. Ever. Never. You know, and that way I can have meetings with my own team in the morning.
Yep.
And then I have one client who has a dance studio and she teaches afternoon. So she has her own personal link, because I know that she's like a special case, you know what I mean? But like, put your personal and your business boundaries on your calendar. And that way you don't have to worry about you yourself holding it, you know, accountable and being like, yeah, I know they wanted to do this, but, you know, maybe I can make an exception. No, it's already blocked off on the calendar.
Yep.
You know, like, set yourself up for success by putting SOPs in place for self-care.
Oh, yeah. Oh, big tip. SOPs, like from the beginning, even when it's just you. Because as soon as you start hiring, oh my gosh, it's so much work to like, okay, pull it all out of my head, document it somewhere, and then say, here's our process, which has only ever been you.
Yes.
So it's not really a process yet. It's just what you've been doing. And then that new person has to interpret it, do it, fumble with it.
And
you
they're
have
not
to
in
approve it.
your head.
Yes.
They don't know the lens.
They don't have the background you have with these customers or with your scope of work. So they're going to change it naturally anyway. So document everything. Calendly was like my boyfriend.
Game changer.
He's my boyfriend. I love him so much because he just game changer for sure. I call it he because it could be my boyfriend.
Right. Here for that.
But yes, Calendly all the way and SOPs for sure.
What are some other systems that you have in place, or like even softwares that are not necessarily accounting specific, that you love, that really like helps your team thrive?
Slack.
Yeah.
We're addicted. I love Slack because it can internalize communication without this long thread that you have to get, or that will get buried in an email, or that you have to revert back to.
Yeah, we use Slack too.
It can be customer specific, so then you can keep track of everything for just that customer.
Yeah.
It's just easy. It can be mobile or on the computer, which is great. So because we have a remote
like
team.
iMessage for work.
Yeah. Because we have a
Slack.
remote team, then no matter where they are, they're getting on their phone or their computer. One of my big things that I want for my company is that my team has the freedom to have life outside of work. And so
You're such a good boss.
well, thank you.
Yeah.
So one of the things I tell them is if the work is getting done by the time it's supposed to get done, I don't care
when you do
what
it.
you do it. If you're up at one of my employees, she's so cute and she's got a brand new baby. And she's like, sometimes she's messaging me at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, what are you doing working right now? And she's like, well, my house is quiet. So this is when I want to get this done. And I'm like, oh, that makes total sense to me. So, and then my admin, she has to be more business hour related, but she also walks dogs and does other things with her time. And it's like, as long as the things are done,
Right.
they get done. So Slack helps with that because they can be out and about and still know what they're coming back to, or how to prioritize.
Yeah.
Yeah. We use it a lot.
Yeah. I use it too. And even with people who are like for QuickBooks Connect prior years, there was like a Slack, you know what I mean? Or like you can have Slack with people who are outside of your organization, but are still business relationship to keep those conversations out of your phone. That's what I love it for.
And off of email.
Yeah, like even for the
so
virtual
much email.
Ascend retreat that you're doing, we have a Slack channel, right? So it's like, doesn't get lost in our phone. You know, we're not like clients of each other, but you can set it up to be with other companies.
External people,
Yeah, I love that about Slack.
Yeah, me too.
So why are you setting this virtual Ascend retreat that you're building for bookkeepers and accountants specifically?
Specifically, yeah.
What is kind of like, I know you have such a heart for entrepreneurs and for educating. What was kind of the shift of like, I'm not just going to work with business owners, but I also want to educate in my field and like add value to people in my own industry?
For me, it's because of the journey I took, I had no help. I had no mentors. I had no one to help me. I took a really long path. I did it. And I actually don't regret it because it's taught me so much along the way, but I'm looking at this is a way I can give back.
Yeah.
I can be that support. I can expose people to the things that will give them the support. I can help them get out of burnout. I can help them understand they don't have to quit. They're not alone. I can do all of that for these either new bookkeepers or, I mean, I have people that are interested that are like, they've been doing this for 25 years, but they're just stuck in the way they're doing it and they need to pivot, but they don't know how. So this is a way they can learn how to pivot and kind of modernize their company a little bit, also make it remote if they're used to being stuck somewhere.
Yeah.
Lifestyle is huge to me, and that's why I'm such a big fan of yours. One of the reasons.
Thank you.
So lifestyle, I mean, have a life, but also have a business. You don't have to be married to your business and be successful.
Right. I think that was such a recent learning. I used to be so deep in hustle culture. Like, if I'm not working 40, 50 hours a week, I'm not doing this right. Whereas now it's like, I worked 20 hours this week. I mean, that's rare. But when I do get to have those weeks, I'm like,
good job, Katey.
Good job, Katey. Self-care.
Good job, Katey.
I do that. Me and my best friend were like, good job. Good job. You know, we pat ourselves on the back.
Yes.
Because it took a long time. Like, my business is turning 7 this year. It took a long time for me to get to the point where I'm like, I actually feel like I can do that. It's so easy when you're a young entrepreneur to think that you have to hustle to be considered successful because other people aren't going to see you as successful unless you're hustling. And it's like, and I think Gen Z doesn't have to unlearn that, but anyone older than Gen Z.
The ironic part to what you just said is that when you're hustling harder than you ever have, people are still not happy with you because you're not doing exactly what they want the minute they want it because you're also busy doing other things. And so it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, like, you're not going to make everybody happy. So you might as well be happy and healthy as you can be.
Play the long game.
Yep. while you're
Longevity.
growing your business. Yeah.
How did your business change when you decided to like go to conferences and go to get in community within your industry?
1,000,000%. It changed 1,000,000% because I just all of a sudden was like, oh my gosh, I'm not alone. I have resources. I met people. I met a colleague at the first QuickBooks Connect that I went to, and I was completely by myself. I knew nobody. My payroll rep, Noah Rainey. Do you know Noah?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah. He was there, and he's like, I'll introduce you to a couple people.
Yeah.
And he's the only person, and I only knew him from the phone. I had no idea. I've never met him before. I was brand new. I was so green. And so I went to conference, and these people were like, I don't even know why to this day, but they took me under their wings, and they're like, yeah, we're going to help you out. Because I was charging, like, I don't even want to say this out loud.
It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing, but I was charging like $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Wow, that just sounds gross right now, but I was. And he was like, oh, no, we're done with that.
Yeah. I did that at the beginning too.
Yeah. So, and actually you can when it's just you, and you can if you want to stay in side hustle mode and just have part-time money or, side money.
But if you're not trying to increase your skill set, that was the thing. It's like, I've become such a different person. It would be silly for me to charge that. Then it made sense. I didn't have a lot of experience.
Right.
My degree is not in accounting. I learned it from my mom.
Right.
She's an accountant, like it made sense at the time because things took me longer because I didn't have the education.
Yep.
But now that would be completely absurd.
Yes. So that's where I was in my first QuickBooks Connect, and he just took me under his wings and he introduced me to people. And I also met another colleague who lives in Hawaii at that same event, and we have stayed in contact this entire time, years later, and it's been amazing. That's another reason I wanted to create the Virtual Ascend, because that in-person, you can't replace it.
Right.
You cannot replace it with Zoom meetings. You can't replace it with, just a phone call. There's something about that camaraderie and meeting the people. I met you at T-Sheets.
Yeah.
Right?
What was that,
2019.
19.
It was right before COVID.
Yeah.
Yes. And then the world shut down and we couldn't see each other.
I know. Was it?
But yes. So you can't replace the in-person.
Yeah.
So it changed 100% or 1,000,000%, I said, because of that reason. I had that community.
Yeah, community is everything when you're an entrepreneur, because it feels like I'm in this alone, and it's like you're in it alone, but you don't know that everybody else is doing the same thing that you are, and they think they're in alone too.
Yes.
So when you get in community of people in your industry, it just is such a game changer.
It is. So that would be something I would say, no matter what industry you're in, go to the expos, go to the conferences, put the time and invest in you and your business, because it will be tenfold in no time.
Yeah, absolutely. So just to wrap up a little bit, like if you had like a one thing for entrepreneurs, anything that you haven't said already, what would be like one tip that you could be like, okay, if you do this today, like this can really move the needle for your business?
Okay, one tip to move the needle for your business today. I would say strategic planning. Have an actual vision of where you want to go. I think a lot of entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, meaning their business is new, don't have a long-term plan. They're like, oh, I'm going to do this thing because right now I want to do this thing. But they don't take the time to really explore what their actual end goal is. So then it's impossible to plan against it.
Right.
Or plan towards it.
Right. I love that.
I would say that.
And do it sooner than later.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait until you're like 5 years in to do your strategic plan.
No.
Like doing it, now, yesterday.
I would say if you're in the mode of I'm going to start this business plan, also be starting your strategic
Long-term
vision.
plan.
And if you've already started and you're kind of fumbling, perfect timing to start your strategic vision.
Yeah.
If you've been doing this 3 to 5 years and you're like, I'm not sure this is really serving me anymore, perfect time to start. So no matter where you are.
Every day is a good day for strategic planning.
And to start a business.
Yes, girl. So tell everyone like where they can find you if they want to connect with you, where you're at, if they are a bookkeeper or accounting professional and want to come to the Virtual Ascend, like how do they get connected with you?
Yep. The Virtual Ascend website is thevirtualascend.com. All the information's on there. We'll
put it in the description too below.
Sure.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram and LinkedIn. It's sam.inc.services on Instagram, and we can do all the other ones because it's long on the bio, or info@samincservices.com.
Amazing. Thanks for being
here.
Thanks, Katey. This was so fun. Love it. And thank you everyone for tuning into another episode of the Entrepreneur Life Podcast. And remember, today's a great day to start a business. Bye.